So as you probably know, due to the content of my videos, many of them are limited or they have no ads running. And that's why your support means so much to me. That way I can keep bringing you the topics that are important to us. On my Patreon, there are 4 different levels to choose from, each with its perks. But generally speaking, patrons of my channel get advanced access to videos, behind the scenes content, and monthly video chats with me. If becoming a patron is something that you can do, just go to patrickmarano.com. The link is in the description below. So what comes to mind when I say Manchester? Probably football, Northern England, like a funny accent. But what about the gay scene? What is it like to visit Manchester as a queer person? So last month, I was in Manchester on a set visit of one of my guilty pleasure shows called Coronation Street, which is a long-running British soap opera. On the show, they have a gay preacher, they have a few gay men that are obviously all dating each other, like real life. They have a lesbian, and they even had a trans character, which has since passed away. So Coronation Street is queerer than you would think. 1 gay point for gay Manchester. In this video, I will be sharing my experience of gay Manchester, looking at some pros and cons, sharing stories from the city, and of course, answering the question, Manchester, how gay is it? Obviously, we are going to start in the village. So when I got off the train from the airport, which by the way is super convenient, it's fast, it's only a few stops from the airport. As you get off the train and I'm walking to my hotel, I actually had to cut through the village. So before I even knew it, I was entering this area that was clearly marked Manchester Gay Village. They have planters that have all the stripes and colors you can think of. They have buildings outside with flags that are flapping. They have a big graffiti sign announcing where you are exactly. There is no way that you will not know that you are in the gay village in Manchester. So it's on Canal Street, and it's called Canal Street because it's right beside a canal. Now, because it's on a canal, you've got the canal on one side, then you've got this cobblestone street beside it, and then you have all the bars and restaurants facing the street. It's a pedestrian-only street. It's everything I could ask for in a village in terms of location, because it's close to everything, it's extremely central, and also it's a pedestrian street, which means that all of the patios from the bars and restaurants that are there, there's a hotel and stuff, spill out into the street, making it extremely social. You don't have to worry about getting run over, especially when you're at night, you're going out, you're having some drinks. You don't got to worry about stumbling into the street and getting run over by a streetcar. Now, in terms of bars and things to do there, there's tons. It's not just Canal Street. It's all the adjacent streets around it too. The one that runs parallel to it, ones that are running perpendicular to it. There are stores. There's fast food like Greasy Spoons, you know, after clubbing and stuff. And the selection of clubs is impressive as well because it's not a huge space, but it's jam-packed with everything you need. So in terms of clubs, there's one called GAY. Doesn't get gayer than that. I was told that it's full of twinks and dance music, so if you and fruity cocktails, so if you like that, you got that for there. There is another bar called Eagle, which we all know what an eagle means. Every city has an eagle. Some of the clubs there, because this area was all like warehouses and manufacturing back in the day, so they're just big inside. They're just big. So you've got different floors, you've got bars, you've got live music, you've got dancing, you have places to sit, you have places to mingle. There's karaoke, there were drag shows. Literally anything you could want or need is there. Points for the variety of clubs, from twinks to bears to leather guys, karaoke, drag. Points for it all being walkable and in a small location, which is super easy to bar hop and really perfect for a tourist. And points for having a well-defined village. You know exactly where you are. Now, hey, if you are liking this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing, because you don't want to miss a thing. we have fun on this channel. Obviously, as a tourist, I couldn't spend all of my time in the village because that wouldn't give a fair representation of how gay is Manchester, because Manchester is not just its gay village. So I thought I should check out the city to get the fuller picture. There is a park right across the canal from the village called the Alan Turing Memorial. Now, if you don't know who Alan Turing is, watch The Imitation Game, which is a movie with Benedict Cumberbatch. It's about a guy, he was hired by MI6 to decode Nazi codes. So, famous gay, and they've made this memorial for him in the park directly across from the village. That's a big gay point. So Manchester is an industrial town. It really grew during the Industrial Revolution, and it was a working town. And so the symbol of the town is the bee, because of the worker bee. They also have these giant statues around the city, sort of painted and decorated in different ways. At the Alan Turing Memorial Park, they have a bee, and the bee is rainbow colors. Gay point for that. And then I came across a theater, and the theater was playing the show The Wizard of Oz, which already, as we know, is like a iconic gay movie, The Wizard of Oz. But guess who's starring in this version of The Wizard of Oz? It's the Vivian from RuPaul's Drag Race UK. She's in The Wizard of Oz. That's a gay point right there. That's pretty gay. Then I went to the Manchester Art Gallery just to take in the art. And then when I'm there, I see this exhibition. So one of them was, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but the drag queen that you see on your screen right now is Cheddar, I believe, right? From RuPaul's Drag Race UK. So clearly, there was a drag queen, Cheddar, she's at the art gallery, she's doing an installation, it's like a live thing, so there's a gay point there. Totally wasn't expecting that. Then I head on over to Manchester Central Library. Now, if you told me, Patrick, go to the library, I would probably say no. But I heard that the Manchester Central Library is something to go see. It's like historic, it's beautiful, there's interactive things to do in there. And when I went in, guess what I found? And I was not expecting this at all. They have gay archives. They have a collection of magazines and newspapers from Attitude. They have the Pink Paper. They have gay publications like Gay Times, Gay News, Diva Boys, Out Northwest. So they have a whole collection of archives that are there in the library. So that was a gay point for them. Then I went to this other library. So this one I went to, this one is very special. It's called the Rylands Library. And Harry Potter scenes were filmed in there. In that library, there was a little exhibit, and I saw this photograph of these two men, and I thought, oh, these men look really chummy. And then right beside it, it says, poet and philosopher Edward Carpenter and George Merrill were life partners, living together for 30 years, blah, blah, blah. So there is, I noticed, an effort in the libraries, in the archives, at the art gallery to include queer culture, to include queer history. So those were points on the gay scale for that. Then I was walking around and I thought, okay, Patrick, this is enough of libraries, let's go shopping. So I ended up at a place called Affleck's. Affleck's, like a lot of the buildings in Manchester, was a big manufacturing, like warehousey type building. So now they've converted it into shopping, and it's like 6 floors or something, and it's a lot of vintage clothing and stuff. But literally there's a whole floor, and it's just rainbow staircase, and you walk in, there's a pride shop, and there's every single piece of gay, queer memorabilia or anything you could ever want. So if you're in Manchester, go check it out. It's definitely a special place in the city. And then just walking around the city, you know, a lot of the stores had flags in the windows, there were stickers in the window, which I don't get a huge point for that because it's easy to put a sticker in the window. That doesn't mean that much necessarily, but I do appreciate the effort, you know, telling somebody like me who's never been there that, hey, you are welcome. So I mean, it is important. Even above and beyond that, you know, there was flags in front of the church. There was this sandwich board in front of the shop. So it was all of these like little extras that really made it feel like, oh, this is an inclusive place to be and it's welcoming to me. You probably know that I visited the local gay sauna when I was there. If you have not seen my full review, you can check that out right here. But of course, I did end up at the gay sauna called Basement to see how it's stacked up to other saunas. Just to give you some idea, getting there was easy. It's very central. It had newly renovated play areas, which was really nice. The wet areas left a little to be desired. The entrance fee was a little high, and it did have bad reviews, not only online, but kind of from my friends. But at the same time, it's like when it's your home sauna, I think we're really hard on a place when it's in our hometown. You know what I mean? I had a good time personally. There were things about it that could be better, but all in all, they have a sauna, it's working, and it met the standards. Okay, let's discuss some pros and cons of gay Manchester. So the pros are absolutely the village. The location, it's central, the setting with the canal, the cobblestone street, the patio spilling out onto the street, the pedestrianized street, and the fact that everything is walkable and in one area, I really liked. I appreciated the effort by places like the library to include gay history, making the archives available for people to go and research and read about. History is so important, and they are making an effort to make that available to people. The only con I would say in terms of the whole queer discussion, I would say, is that outside of the village, there was not a huge visibility of actual queer people on the streets. I didn't see people holding hands or anything like that. It was actually outside of the village, felt very laddish. And if you don't know what that means, or what I'm trying to say, is like a lad, like a British lad, like it's very sporty and very macho, masculine dudes. Don't get me wrong, it's hot. The guys were hot. They're all wearing little shorts, running around, playing sports and stuff. But it felt very laddish. I didn't feel unsafe. I just felt outnumbered. All right, so after a whirlwind few days in the city of Manchester, this tourist was, on the whole, very impressed. As a city, it's completely walkable. It has lots of shopping and food choices. It's nestled geographically, between Scotland to the north, and Ireland is just over the water, and London is just south. All things considered, and taking into account that I was only there for a few days, and that this is coming from the outside perspective of a tourist, I'm giving Manchester 9 rainbows out of 10. Definitely worth a visit for the queer tourist. Hey, if you like this video and you are looking for more, why not sign up for my newsletter? It's absolutely free and full of discounts on fun stuff for you to enjoy. For all the ways that you can support, just go to patrickmarano.com, linked in the description below. And I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.